Do you ever feel like you're talking to a wall when you pray to God, like your words are going unheard? It could be super stressful to go through a season of silence and unanswered prayer, and sometimes we could even get to the point where we're like, is it even worth praying over this anymore? Does God even care about the things that I talk about, the conversations that I have, the thoughts that I have, the pain that I'm going through, or am I just being ignorant to His voice? But here's the thing, we can't give up because He does hear us, and maybe you're tired of hearing that because it's been years upon years of suffering and pain, and everyone around you has been telling you the same thing. And guess what? I'm gonna be that other person to tell you the same thing again because He does hear you. And here's the reason why. Psalm 6, 8 through 9. Go away, all of you who do evil, for the Lord has heard my weeping. The Lord has heard my plea. The Lord will answer my prayer. I love this verse so much because in 2022, I went through a year that was just so emotionally draining. I went through heartbreak. I lost loved ones. I got sick multiple times. I was just so tired. And yet this verse kept me and it held me and reminded me that God was listening to me. I had to remind myself of this verse so many times. This verse became the anthem, the theme of my life. I would go up to the mountains or go to the ocean and speak this over my life. It got to a point where I even made it my iPhone background because I just needed to remind myself that even though I didn't feel it, God was there listening to me. I can tell you from my own experience that God truly does answer prayer. I had to consistently run for healing every time I was hurt. And no matter where I was, no matter how much it hurt, no matter how many times I fell down, God showed up and took care of me. And there are long seasons where I am just waiting and waiting, but He is still faithful and shows up. I had to tell myself that God saw my crying, that He heard my prayers, and that He would answer them one day. And to this day, I still have to hold on to this verse. I want to tell you the story of Jeremiah 29, which I believe is an incredible story of hope and learning how to trust the Lord in hard situations. It's the story of the Israelites who were exiled in Babylon, and they couldn't escape their situation at all. There was like no hope. But even in the midst of their struggle, God came to remind them that He still had a plan for them, but also He encouraged them to seek Him. One of the most powerful parts of the story is when God says this in Jeremiah 29, 12 through 13. When you call on me, when you come and pray to me, I'll listen. And when you come looking for me, you'll find me. No matter what we're going through, we can find comfort and hope knowing that God is listening to our prayers, even in our darkest of situations. I want to share a story that I've never talked about before. When I was between 16 and 17, I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos. And two of my favorite YouTubers were Bobby Mares and Kian Lawley. I was a fanboy, and I gotta admit it, Bob and Kian already know that. And I remember at that age, I would always pray and ask God that somehow, some way, He would make an opportunity where I could meet them, and I could talk to them, and I could somehow shoot a video with them, whatever it was, just an opportunity to be a part of their community and their life. Years went by, time passed, I even experienced doubt, and it got to a point where I even lost my faith and forgot about the prayer. Anyways, when I turned 21, I moved to LA, and these two YouTubers were reintroduced into my life. And not only did I get to shoot videos with them, but they became my best friends. And it just reminds me that even when I forgot about my prayer, even when I decided to leave my faith, God never forgot about my prayers. He never forgot about the desires I had in my own heart, and He was still willing to answer those prayers, even throughout all those years. And so I just want to let you know, if you're going through a tough time and you feel like no one's listening to you, that your prayers are going unanswered, I just want to remind you that there is a God that is for you, that is eagerly listening to your prayers because He loves you. Keep on holding on to your faith. Keep on praying. He has not forgotten about you, and He has a plan for you. Why? Because He has heard your weeping. He has heard your pleas, and He will answer your prayers. He loves you.